Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Let's start today's chapter. We were on chapter 5 where we were discussing the shearing force and bending moment diagrams, right? So we have done some preliminary work in this particular case. So what we discussed last time was that there are two types of the things. One is the static part. Static part, we know that this x and y axis and z axis are the coordinate axis, and this positive, this is positive y, this is positive x, and the moment that is the counterclockwise is the positive moment assumes as statics, right? And then sum of all the forces along x-axis, y-axis, and the moment will be equal to 0. That is the static part. That will remain same. This will be used to calculate the shearing forces. This will be used to calculate the reaction forces that you have been doing in the statics one, right? Whereas the sign conventions for moments as well as for the, this is for sign convention for the moments. This is sign convention for the moments, and these are sign conventions for the shear forces, right? If you have the smiley face, obviously moment is positive, and if you have sad or frowning face, then it will be a negative one, right? Like this one. And the smiley and the shear force V is basically the one in which you are going up into this direction and down into this direction, or net effect of this is sort of clockwise is assumed to be the positive. And if one face is going, this face is going up and this face is going down, so this will be a negative one, right? So I am representing over here this part. This is the part which is over here, and this is the part which is over here. You can see that this section, this part is going up and this part is going down, so this is the negative shear, right? And likewise, this part is going up and this part is going down, so this is the positive shear, right? Fine. And then if we have some sort of like uh, right now, if I draw a regular section over here, like this one and this one, this is a section basically, right? So these are the positive conventions, right? And these are the positive conventions. This is for the moment, and this is for the moment, this is for the V, and this is for the V, because they are equal and opposite to each other. So for keeping the system in equilibrium, they are necessary. So if you are taking the section from left to right, so you will always assume these positive moments and shear force. And if you are taking the section from from the right to left, so you will be taking this moment and this moment and this type of the shearing stresses, right? Most of the time we use this one, this part, that we assume it. We take the section reference from the left to right, so we generally assume this is the positive one and this is the positive. And generally we always assume, because we don't know what sort of direction the moment will be having, or what sort of directions the shear force would be having by the end of day. So we always assume that positive moment and positive shear always there, right? So positive moment and positive shear is always assumed, and then if the answer comes in negative, so you can flip the directions accordingly, right? Fine. So never try to use negative conventions, because when you have the negative convention, then when you have the positive answers, so mean that is the negative one is fine. So there may be some confusion. So always assume positive moment and positive shear force, and then see what the answer comes, and accordingly you can flip the uh, flip the signs or flip the directions of the moment and shear force, right? So we stop here the sharing this one, and now we will go straightforwardly to the presentation part, right? And this is the one we discussed last time. So these are basically the positive shear and positive bending moments considered from the left to right, from left to right, and from right to left. We discussed we discussed earlier, right? So always assume for this one, for example, we took the section from A to C. So these are the positive conventions, and when we take from negative from right to left, right? So we took this sort of conventions for this sort of assumption for the moments and the uh, shear force. And then obviously, if answer comes in negative, so we will flip uh, the one over here, flip the directions of this one. Let's start straightforwardly the problem 5.1. Right, we have this sort of beam structure. 20 kilonewton is applied over here. uh, Sorry, 20 kilonewton is applied over here, 40 kilonewton is applied over. You have these supports, simply supported beam, right? And these are the dimensions which are given to us. So how we will start this? First, we will assume that everybody is rigid, and we will do the static part, that is determining of the forces. And then we will take the sections of the beams to calculate the to calculate the shear forces and the bending couples. And then we will identify where the maximum shear occurs and where the maximum bending moment occurs. So this is how we will, and then we will apply in the end elastic selection formulas to calculate the maximum normal stresses that would be. So here is the systematic way we can go for it, right? So this was the diagram. We will first draw the free body diagram. So we will remove all these supports and we will put the reactions over there, right? So these are the reactions over here. And we will do the simple static part, in which sum of all the moments about the fx, the x is equal to 0, and sum of all the forces about y-axis. Obviously there is only y-axis, so it will be equals to 0. So from that we can calculate. I am not going to the details of how you will calculate RB and RD, right? So you can do that by taking the moment about any of the axis. For example, moment about D, or for moment about B, you can go for you can calculate one of the reactions, and then you will simply sum of all the forces equal to sum of forces about the y-axis will go sum of all the forces about the y-axis. So you can calculate the another reaction. So these are the reactions RB and RD. I'm pretty much confident then you can do all the stuff already in the static part. Now we will try to take the sections, right? To section 1. Section 1 is this one, right? So this is the section 1. So I took this section 1. 20 kilonewton is applied at point A, and we are assuming positive shear and positive moment. So what we will do now? This is sum of all the forces about y-axis is equal to 0. So this is basically the 20 kilonewton. Is it positive or negative? It is negative, because if this part is going down and this part will be going up, obviously, right? And this part is going up and this part is going down. So what is this? This is negative shear. So negative shear is there, right? Minus V1 over there, because V1 is positive now, because V1 is going downward, right? So this will create this sort of stuff, anti-clockwise, clockwise, sorry, right? So it is, sorry, it is negative then. Both are negative one, right? So minus 20 minus V1 equals to 0, and V1 will be equals to minus 20. Now we will calculate, now we will calculate the moments. 20 into a very small incremental part, so that is assumed to be the zero, because we know from the chapter 2 and chapter 3 where we keep on calculating the loads, we always don't take the point on the point load conditions. Like here at point A load is applied, so we will never take this point. We will take a little bit earlier or the after that point. So earlier will maybe there is no reason to go for the earlier one, but we will next in this part we will go earlier one as well. So we will go a little bit further from that, but that is negligible distance. When this distance is negligible, so we will assume it's zero. So 20 kilonewton into zero will be 0 plus m1, right? So this m1, this is the positive m, right? So this is m1. So so this is positive m1. So m1 will be equals to 0, so no moment will be there. But as we will go at point 2, now there is a significant length is there, that is 2.5. Obviously that can be maximum 2.5. So when we will go for the m2 section 2, so what we will do now, it will remain same, right? It will remain same, minus 20, because we know that here at any part if no load is available it will remain constant. So this is constant, right? At v1 it is minus 20, at v2 again it is minus 20, right? So fine. So moment, what about moment now, right? Moment will be there now because now you have significant length of 2.5 meter is there. So 20 into 2.5, right? And plus m2, that is the moment you are applying, because this is action, this is reaction. So sum of action plus reaction equals to 0 to keep the system in equilibrium. So m2 will be minus 50 kilonewton, right? Likewise at section 3 what will happen, section 3 is just beyond the b point. So length for 46 will be 0, length for 46 will be 0, so that will be 0. So there will be no effect of the moment on the 46, so you will left with only a moment effect of the 20 kilonewton. So you will have same values of moment on this, but the what the shear will be different, shear will be different. Now it is 20 kilonewton downward, negative, and 46 upward, so positive. So it will be positive 26. 46 minus 20, that will be 26, right? Now we go for the M4. M4, now there is significant length of 3 meter is involved, that on which this 46 load is being applied. So now we will consider that as one, right? So when we will go for that, so shear is straightforward. Shear is straightforward. It will have the same shear because in this particular region, there is no further force, shear for load is applied. So 46 minus 20, it will remain same, that is 26. But M1, M4 will be different in this case because 20 into 5.2 into into 5.5 plus minus 20 into 5.5 plus 46 into 3, that will be equals to 110 minus 138 plus M4, so it will be 28 will be there, right? Sorry. So it will be 28 will be over there. Sorry, I need to go on the right. So we can go for it. For example, 20 multiplied by 5.5, because it is a counterclockwise, so it is positive, so it is negative, right? We are calculating the moment, right? And then uh, plus 46 into 3 plus M4. So it will be equals to yes, it will be positive because it is a counterclockwise, and it will be which is very hard to write on this. It will be positive and it will be and it will be negative. It will not be positive, it will be negative. So so M it will be, this all will be equals to 0. So M4 will be equals to 28, right? So same because and now the 4 and 5, 4 is just before the C and 5 is just after the C. So okay, condition will remain same. Shear will be different from that, right? And then you keep on calculating the shear and the moments for all this one, right? And now the this is the free body diagram. Sorry, these are the shear force and bending moment diagrams for this, right? Initially, we will start with the V1 is minus 20 kilonewton and M1 is 0 there. So this is our positive axis. This is a negative V, right? So negative V, so we will start from minus 20 at section 1, that is minus 20, and in both sections 1 and 2 it is minus 20, so it will be a straight line. And then for next it is 26 and 26 for 3 and 4. For 3 and 4 we will straightforwardly from minus 22 we will go up to plus 26, right? This is plus 26 and 3 and 4 will be plus 26, and then we will further drop uh, to minus 14 and minus 14, and then we will further drop to minus 14 because this is positive and this is negative, and then we will go to minus 14, and here we will end this one, and then here it will be again, right? What will be the moment now? Moment will be 0, and then moment will be minus 50 kilonewton, right? Moment will be 0 here. It will start from 0, and then it will be keep on changing up to minus 50 over here, and at point 3 and 4 it is minus 50 and plus 20. It is minus 50 and plus 20 over here, right? And then from minus plus 20 to 0 plus 28 to 0 at 5 and 6. At 5 and 6, at 5 and 6 it is going to 0, right? So this is how you can calculate, you can make your shear force and bending moment diagrams, right? And if you look at that, you can see that if this load is applied and this is the support, so it will be going like this one. This is what we have already done in last chapters, that it will be a negative moment because top is under tension and bottom is under compression. So this is the negative one, right? Negative shear and negative uh, negative sorry negative shear and negative moment, right? Whereas when this load will be applied, so it will be a like this one. So this is the smiley face. So positive moment and both positive and negative shear in this one, both positive and negative shear. So this is how you can estimate. From there, you can estimate maximum shear force and maximum bending moment. Obviously, maximum bending moment shear force is 26 kilonewton from this diagram. This is the maximum one, and this is the maximum bending moment occurring at this point. This one, right? So we exactly know where maximum bending moment and maximum shear will be occurring. Maximum, and we can see that where the maximum, that and then you can see that this is the point B where you have both of this maximum shear and maximum bending moment, right? So from there we can calculate S. S is 1 over 6 BH square. B is given to us. B is given to us. This is B. This is H. This is H, and this is B. So section modulus can be calculated. 1 over 6 BH square from chapter 4, sorry. And then sigma maximum will be MB over section modulus, whose maximum shear normal stress will be 60 to 10 raised to power 6 Pascal will be the maximum normal stress will be there. Now, this is a little bit more complicated one. Now you have different type of the load. This type of load is generally called uniformly distributed load. For example, uh, uniformly distributed load means this is for the on a span, it is uniformly distributed. For example, that may be the weight of the of any beam, right? And this is kips per feet, right? So as the feet will be increasing, the load will be increasing. This is kips per feet. This is W generally assumed, right? This is the uniformly distributed. And to calculate the load, you multiply it with the length. So length will be in feet. So feet will be cancelled with the feet. So you will left with only kips or the load only, right? So here it is 0, length is 0, so no load is there. Here the maximum length is there, so 33 into 8, so maximum load will be there, right? For static purpose, what we do, this is a very critical point to understand over here. Whenever you have a uniformly distributed load, you represent for statics only, right? For statics only, you assume that this 24, that is the maximum load, 3 into 8, that will be applied in the mid of this one, right? So it will be 24. This is the static representation of the uniformly distributed load, and it is always implemented in the center of that section. So this will be 4 feet and this will be the 4 feet, right? And exactly in the center of that span, this 24 kips load will be applied to it, right? And now come to over here. This is a 10 kips load is being applied over here. So what? So this is off centered now, right? So but we cannot represent the load over here. We need to represent the load over here that is directly coming in contact with the beam, right? So if we shift this load over here, so what you say, what will be the V over here, and will there be any moment? Yes, definitely there will be some V and there will be some moment, because this load is being 10 kips load is being applied at 2 feet from the 2 feet from the point E, right? So 20 kips will be there, 20 kips feet, that will be the moment applied over there, and 10 10 will be the shear force that will be applied to it, right? And what will be that? That will be into moment of the direction will be like this one, right? Because it will try to bend this into this direction. So this is clockwise. So clockwise moment is always negative. So this is what we will do into the. So this is all the description. So see over here now. Now this is that 3 kips per feet is the uniformly distributed load, and then you shifted that load. So the load 10 kips will be the V shear force, and 20 kips feet will be your moment that will be applied on point D, right? and then obviously in the end you will be having you will be having over here that will be a point where the you will apply the positive moment and the share of the positive share for the for the not positive share, because it is a sport, so it will be a reaction there, it will be a reaction there, and uh, then there will be some counterclockwise, because the net effect of this load will be it will go down, right? So this all is a cantilever, and we know that cantilever goes into the negative moment. So uh, so this particular point will be having clockwise clockwise movement, right? And reaction will be going up. So 34 kips is the reaction that we will need to calculate, obviously. And then definitely we have the 318 kips feet will be the moment, which we will calculate obviously by the end of day. So we will start from the static part. So we will take first section at 1. This is the section 1. So from A to C, right? What will happen now? As I earlier said that 3 and x will be the this distance on which this load is being applied. Maximum that can be the 8, right? So 3x, and this will be exactly implemented in the half of that section, right? So half of that section will be x by 2. If this is x, so it will be x by 2, and 3 as a function of x, this will be the load for that. And we are assuming everything positive now, positive moment and positive VR over there, right? So we will do the static part will be 3x minus, because this is a negative share over there, right? uh, Negative share minus 3x and minus v equals to 0, right? So v will be minus 3x kips. Likewise, moment will be 3x into half of x by 2. That is the distance between the load and the point of section, plus m, that is positive 1, so equals to 0. So m will be minus half x square keeps fit. That will be the one, right? Then from C to D will be sum of all the forces about the y-axis, because, right, sum of all the forces about y-axis. So 24 kips is downward. So this is negative, and this is V again is negative because it's again downward, right? So this is a static part, right? The point is trying to understand is that this is the static part. So this is the negative y, and this is again negative y. I draw this. This is the static part. This is positive, and this is positive movement. So these all calculation, these all calculations are on the basis of this is positive x, this is positive y, and this is positive m. So see, minus 20 kilonewton is going downward. This is negative y. This is also going downward. This is negative y. 3x downward, downward, negative, v downward, negative, right? So likewise, minus 24 minus v. Now, why is this 24? Because the I earlier mentioned in the slide that 3 into maximum span length is 8, so it will be 24, and it is always applied in the center of that one. ठीक? So it will be applied at the distance of 4, because it is total span length for this is 8. So it will be applied in the exactly center of that uniformly distributed load. So 24 minus V equals to 0. So V will be minus 24 kips, right? And what will happen now? This is from left to right. We are going from left to right, right? So X will be the total distance of the section. X will be the section, and this X minus 4 will be the distance of the 24 kips from the section, right? So what will happen now? For calculating M2, 24 into X minus 4, that will be the load beyond that. Since there is no load over here, because there is no load, so you will have only moment over there. 24 into x minus 4 plus m will be equals to 0. So you will simplify it as 96 minus 24 gives feet, right? Now at this section, we come to this section now. What will happen then? We will do that, right? So it will be 24 into x minus 4, right? This is minus 20 because it is in the this is in this direction positive, this is counterclockwise, so it is negative. Minus 20 plus 10, this force, this is 10 into x minus 11, because if this is x, right, this is x, so this will be x minus 11, right, because total is 11. This is Acha ji. So this part is basically x minus 11. So x minus 11 plus m equals to 0. So when we will simplify it, so you will end up with the 226 minus 34x kips per moment. And what about the shear force? Shear force is, this is minus 24, this is minus 10, right? So this will be minus 34. So this is minus 34 kips, right? So now what we are going to do, now we have calculated all the stuff, right? So 34 kips is there, right? But we have yet to complete our moment, because moment is dependent on the x, and x is basically the length of the section which we are considering, right? So there we are going to solve it, right? So we have this initially, this is when x is initially we'll solve it for the minus 3. So maximum span length is 8. So minus 8 will be 24. Minus 3 into 8 will be minus 24. So we are going for the 8 feet, it will be minus 24, right? In this section, it will be constant, that will be minus 30 to minus 24. So it will go constant. And at this particular point, we are adding another 10 in that, because it is downward, it was also downward. So we are adding 10, so it went up to the minus 34. And for the rest of the section, it is same, because there is no additional load into this part, right? Now we come to the moment stuff, right? So moment is mem minus 5 1.5 x square. X is basically, for initial section, x is 8. So 8 into 8 raised power 2 will be 64, and 1 point multiplied by 1.5, it will be minus 96 kips. This. Now one thing is necessary to understand. What will be the shape of the line? This is 3x. 3x is a linear member, right? So it will be a straight line. So that's why you are having the straight line over here. What is the shape of the x square? It is parabola, right? It is always a parabola. So this is a parabola. It is not a straight line. Up to this is the curve, right? Because it is x square, right? And then for the further one, x square. Next is 96 minus 24x, right? So for next x will be 8 plus 8 plus 3, 11, right? So you will put 11 over there. So 96 minus 24 into 11. So that will be the moment, that will be minus 168 kips second, right? This is at this point, right? Now what happens over there? See, you have additional 20 kips negative section, negative moment all is also there. So initially it will go 168, and then you will subtract that 20 from that one, right? So one minus 168 minus 20 will be minus 148. Minus 148 will be the net moment at this particular point, because you have already applied 20 kips fit over there as well. Already you have applied that, and that is in the negative direction. So it is a negative moment, so it will be subtracted from this one. So 148. Now is the third one will be this one. So 26 minus 34x, and x will be, in this particular case, will be the maximum length of that. That is total length of this is 3 into 2 5, 5 into 3 8, 8 into 16. So you will put the 16 over there. So 226 minus 34 into 6, 16, 34 into 16. So net answer what will be? That will be 318 kips fit, but that will be a negative. So these are the straight lines. These all are the straight lines because they are dependency on the x, right? But this is not a straight line. This is basically a parabola, right? There could be a question that it is a, this is also a parabola, this is also a parabola, right? But we don't go into that detail. You assume that this is this one, this is this one, right? Don't go this one, this is this one, right? So now, so what we will do now, we will go for the from left to right. So we will from the appendix C for this hot rolled steel, S is 126 inch cube, that is given to you about x-axis, right? So maximum moment to the left of D, will be 2016 kips left of D. This is the D, this is the D point. So this is kips into feet. So you are convert to 168 multiplied by 12. That will be kips inch divided by 126 inch cube. So you will have this one, right? And just after that, it will be minus 148. Sorry, it will be from this point to the right of the D. To the right of the D, it will be 148 minus 148 and 148 to the right of the D. 318 is over here. Don't confuse it. Just a point before D and after D. So before D, it is 168 minus 168, and just after D is minus 148 kips inch feet. So you will multiply it with the 12. So 1176 kips inch divided by so before D, it will be maximum normal stress will be 16 ksi, and just after the point D, it will be 14.1 ksi, right? So this is how you can calculate further. So here we end today's lecture, first part of this lecture, and then we will go for the second part of this lecture as well, right? Thank you.